Thank you for staying with us on the AM show on Joy News. So like I mentioned, we're now going to be talking about the WIDU Project. And of course, it's all about development and stability across different regions in Africa. Joining us for a conversation, we have Anthea Ohene Main, Greater Accra Regional Manager, GEA Projects Coordinator, and she is with the WIDU Project. We also have Till Schming, GIZ Advisor, Employment Promotion with the Diaspora WIDU Platform. We have a conversation with them right now on the AM show. Gentlemen, lady, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They always say ladies first. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about WIDU and this latest project. What's it all about?
Okay, so WIDU is basically a German government-sponsored program, and it's being implemented by GIZ.
Okay.
So what it is about is that a research was done, and we realized that most remittances coming from Germany to Africa are just gifts or just for upkeep. But the amount is so huge, and so it is something that was thought about by the German government, that we can quickly use the remittances into investments so that these investments can be turned into businesses and become profitable for people down here in Africa, so that we don't always have to depend on the Africans in diaspora for support. Okay. And so the whole idea is to make sure that remittances are turned into investments in Africa. So that is just a gist about WIDU.
Okay, so if I went on then to ask you, because you've spoken about remittances,
exactly.
If I went on then to ask you about what the criteria are, what the registration process is, who can send money, what would you say in that regard?
Okay, so WIDU started in some selected European countries. So it is Germany, France, Switzerland, Sweden, Netherlands, and some few more. So the African countries too that were selected were Ghana, Togo, Cameroon, and Ethiopia, Tunisia, and I think two others. So what the criteria is that you have to have a business idea. You should have a business idea, and if you also have an existing business, fine. And those out there in Germany and the European countries I mentioned are called the donors. And those in Africa are called the entrepreneurs, because we are talking about business. And so it doesn't really matter whether you have a business or not. Once you have an idea, and you can have a business, and you want to grow the business with some funding. So WIDU is a grant that the German government gives to support people who want to start a business or who have businesses that want to grow the business. So the criteria is that you should be, okay, let's take the Ghanaian scenario. In Ghana, if you want to apply on WIDU, you should have a business idea. And you should also have a donor in any of the countries that we have mentioned. That is the partner countries that are under WIDU.
Right.
So if it is outside the countries I've mentioned, then you cannot go on the portal. And you have to talk about it to the donor for the donor to agree. And then the donor will go on the WIDU platform to initiate the process.
Okay.
And then invite you, the entrepreneur, to also come on the WIDU platform.
Okay. Till, what else can you add as far as the WIDU platform is concerned? Orchestrated by the German government, but reiterate the countries from which these donations can be made. Is it free, though?
Yes, absolutely. So the whole process is free. What we do is once an entrepreneur gets invited by a member of the diaspora in one of the European countries, we will have a look at the business idea that they have. We're going to check it online. And once we see that it's eligible, we are paying for a business coach to visit the entrepreneur site, the business side of the entrepreneur, and provide a business coaching to set the entrepreneur up for success. And this business coaching is paid for us. Also, the operation of the website is paid for us. So there's no cost involved for an entrepreneur. The whole process is for free. And there's also no middleman or percentages or anything else. So after this coaching visit has happened and an entrepreneur invests the money that they receive from their diaspora friend or relative, plus their own funds into the business and documents it on the platform, they become eligible for our WIDU grant, which is between 250 euros to 2,500 euros. And there's only one obligation with this grant that is sent to their bank account, which is that they have to invest it into their business and upload receipts on the platform afterwards. So that's the only condition tied to this grant. There's no repayment. We don't take a stock in their business or something like that. It's really just this one obligation, which is to use the grant in the business and tell us what they have done with it.
Is this a one-time commitment? Is it a one-time payment?
Yes, so the WIDU grant is a one-time payment in this process, but you can go through this process up to 3 times. So after you have gone through the WIDU process and you have mobilized funding, maybe you have a second step in mind to bring your business to the next stage. So you can ask your diaspora friend or relative in one of the European countries to invite you for a second round, and then afterwards also for a third round. So in total, you can go through 3 rounds of funding with WIDU.
Okay, so I'm using myself merely as an example.
Sure.
Let's say I don't know anybody abroad. Can I still participate in the program? And the other question is, how about, okay, so I don't know anyone from some of these countries, but I have a donor from the UK, the US, or Canada. What then happens? Can you share with us before I come back to you?
Yeah. So maybe coming to your first question, what happens, or let me actually go to your second question first, about which countries we are in. So Antea mentioned the countries already. We are currently operating in Germany, in France, in Switzerland, Austria, the Netherlands, Norway, and Sweden.
These are all countries with pretty extensive, linkages to Germany. A lot of them actually speak German. What's going on? Is it all in that enclave?
So actually, we started in Germany because we are receiving our funding, from the German government in the end, and then we added more and more countries to it. And the reason is that if we open up the whole world immediately, there will be a lot of traffic on the platform, and it's better to start small and then extend more and more countries to it. So at the moment, we are not in the UK and the US, but we are, of course, very, very open to do it. And as I mentioned, we have been extending from 2019, where we're only in one country, to now multiple countries, where also a lot of diaspora members live. Now, I realized that some entrepreneurs, they may not have this connection to the diaspora in one of those countries. So they said, I still have a good business idea. How can you help us? So we've also introduced a second instrument. So the one that we talked about is our grant program that is available all year long for the next years. But we also have a second grant program, which is called thematic calls. And that one is available only at certain times. So for example, we opened up a digitalization call that helps small businesses to digitalize their operations.
Right. And
that was opened up in Ghana in July last year. So if people follow us on our Facebook page, WIDU Ghana, then they will be informed once we reopen one of those thematic calls. And then people can also participate if they don't have the diaspora connection.
Okay, that's interesting. Anthea, he made mention of a figure. I believe, did you say the cap was 250 euros?
That's the minimum.
Correct. The minimum. So
yes,
what's the highest?
The highest is 2,500.
2,500
euros, yeah.
Okay, so that's the highest one can apply for.
Exactly.
What's the application process like? How does one get on board?
So that is what I was saying initially. The donor will have to go onto the WIDU.Africa platform, apply, and then invite the entrepreneur in the African country, which is Ghana. We are using Ghana.
What does that mean? Would that mean the entrepreneur would have had to initiate contact with the donor? How does it work?
Exactly. So you have to discuss with your friend or relative out there in the diaspora. And then you discuss whether you want to invest in what type of business, because we do support any type of business. They don't restrict the sectors. So if you discuss and you decide on the business that you want to go into, then the donor can go onto the platform and then initiate the process and invite the entrepreneur on board.
So in other words, WIDU is acting like some sort of intermediary between the donor and the person in need, the entrepreneur.
Yes, the entrepreneur.
How simple is the application process? How long does it take?
So you just have to have a digital skill because you have to go online and apply. It's very simple, but that is why Ghana Enterprises Agency, we also have people on board who can assist you with application. Because if you don't understand the application process, we can be there to support you to apply online.
I see. And then in terms of if anyone has further questions, needs clarity, what do they do? Where do they go? What do you have a website they can access?
Yes, we have the website. We have contact numbers, so they can contact the following numbers: 0244 835 702.
They often tell us we go too quickly, so you have to slow down. You'd have to slow down with the number.
So 0244 835 702 or 0244 994570. We actually have...
So that's 994570 for the second number. 0244
994570.
Okay, all right.
And then we can even add a third number, 0244 964567.
Okay.
So all these numbers, when you reach out to any of them, even if you are in the northern region, we can link you up to somebody who can support you.
How about a website? Do you have any?
We have the website.
Shall I come in?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's also other ways. If, for example, you didn't get the number, then you can also visit WIDU.Africa.
And WIDU, it, by the way, is WIDU, right?
Yes, correct. So let me quickly also hold our flyer up. I don't know if people can see it in the screen, but it's WIDU.Africa.
Okay, so, yeah, we just zoomed in.
Thank you very much.
Right.
And there you can contact us. We are also on Facebook. So if you type in WIDU Ghana, then you can find us on Facebook and you can just message us there and we will get back to you. And the other way is to write an email to us, which is at ghana@widu.africa. And
so Ghana at WIDU, that is WIDU.Africa.
That is correct.
Okay.
Thank you. And once somebody writes the email to us, we can support via email or messenger, or also connect you to somebody from GEA with a business advisory center, where people can walk in and get the support.
Okay. Anthea, Till, any final words? I'll start with you this time. Final words? I was curious though.
Yes, please.
How many people have you reached in Ghana, for example, or Africa so far? I nearly forgot that. I meant to ask.
Yeah. So in Ghana, we have supported 1,000 businesses with coaching or with the WIDU grant. And they are in all regions of Ghana. And by that, we have mobilized 1.4 million euros. That is the money from the diaspora and the money from the entrepreneur. And we have matched that with a grant of 1.4 million euros. So we have mobilized quite a lot of money into really small-scale businesses.
I see. For you, Anthea, final words.
So this is a very good opportunity for the youth. We've always been asking for capital for startup, and the financial institutions are not supporting. So this is a grant. Once you have somebody out there in the countries we have mentioned, take advantage of it. Sell a business idea out there. If you also need funds to expand your business, this is the right time. Take advantage of the Ghanaians out there and then use the remittances for business to grow our economy in Ghana.
Thank you very much for joining the conversation. I'm just doing a quick bit of mathematics here. What's the exchange rate for the euro? Now, I think it's slightly above the dollar, slightly above the 12 CD mark. But if it's $250 or euros, whichever way, that's something close to 3,000 CDs. If you're looking at the 2,500, so
32,000 Ghana CDs.
So let's even use 13. That will be about 32,500. So not bad money in terms of startups, something you could actually go down the road of. And if you want something in there, you could use it to start up and dream as big as you want to. But thank you very much, Anthea. Thank you very much, Till, for joining the conversation. Anthea Ohene Main is Greater Accra Regional Manager, GEA Project Coordinator with the WIDU Project. There's also Till Schming, GIZ Advisor, Employment Promotion with the Diaspora on the WIDU platform. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.